Is your pup looking a little bit rounder these days? Pet obesity is a growing concern, but don't worry, here are some simple steps and tricks to implement at home that will help your rounded pet. Just like humans, pets can struggle with weight gain, and it's really easy to overlook those few extra kilos when they're all wrapped up in fur and looking super cute. But here are some practical tips on how to make changes that will help them in the long run. Tip number 1 is understanding your pet's portion sizes. First up, let's talk about portions, because no pet is overweight because they want to be. It's how much we feed them at their time of serving. Overfeeding is the leading cause of pet obesity. Each pet has different nutritional needs based on their age, their gender, whether they're sterilized, and how much activity they're doing every day. If you're feeding a dry food, make sure you're using the bag instructions for the amount to feed per day, and make sure that if you are giving treats that you are reducing the amount of food that they're eating. The same applies for raw food and cooked food. Tip number 2 is choosing the right food. Choosing the right food is just as important as weighing out the food. Opting for a high quality, high protein recipe is probably the best way to go for your floof. If you're feeding a dry food, opting for foods that are formulated for weight management and weight loss is probably going to be the best bet. Those have lower fat, more digestible ingredients, and tend to keep your pet feeling satiated for longer. Ideally for weight loss, you want to avoid excessive carbohydrates and increase that animal protein content. Tip number 3 is to limit your pet's treats. We know it's really difficult when they're giving you the cute puppy dog eyes and they're begging for a little snack here and there, but make sure that when you're giving treats, you're not exceeding more than 10% of their calorie budget per day. You should be swapping out high calorie, highly processed treats for more fresh, healthier, and safe options for your floof. Some of our favorites are single ingredient, air dried treats like beef liver, beef sinews, chicken, duck, any of those variants, and again, make sure it makes up only 10% of your pet's calories. Tip number 4 is to encourage regular exercise and movement. Just like humans, exercise is really important to burn calories. We need to get your pets moving. So for dogs, this can be walks, playtime, encouraging movement, and for cats, this can be interactive toys, tug toys, tassel toys, and just getting them moving during feeding time. We all need to hit our 10K steps for our heart health every day. So going on a walk with your pooch is not only good for you, it's good for them and it builds the bond. Tip number 5 is to monitor your pet's weight. This is probably the easiest, most free thing you're ever going to get in your life, but monitoring your pet's weight, whether that's on a scale at home or popping past your local vet practice and using their scale in their reception area, is probably the best thing you can do. Keeping an eye on their weight not only allows you to adjust their portion sizes, adjust their exercise routine, but also allows you to work consistently towards their weight loss goal. Tip number 6 is to avoid free feeding. Free feeding literally means leaving food out all day. And this can lead to overeating because your pet's not really going to be able to know when they're hungry or when they're not. Instead, we tend to recommend sticking to fixed feeding times and putting your pet on a feeding schedule. A feeding schedule not only allows your pet to properly digest their food between meals, but it also helps control their blood glucose levels, which is really important for them throughout their lives. Tip number 7 is focusing on their enrichment. Feeding times is such a great opportunity for mental enrichment. This will help with boredom, which obviously leads to overeating if the pet is being free-fed. You need to keep your pet physically and mentally stimulated, and you can do this through puzzle toys, lick mats, lick trays, and other types of feeding games. Not only will this additional movement help burn calories, but it will also help curb some behaviors like stress and anxieties. So what do you do if your pet is overweight? If your pet is overweight, don't panic. Pop us a DM or pop us an email, reach out to us so we can work on a weight loss plan that is safe for your pet. You ideally want to aim for safe and gradual weight loss because rapid weight loss is dangerous. Feel free to watch our video on overfeeding if you need a little push in the right direction. Keeping your pet at a healthy weight is not just about their physical appearance, it's really about what's happening on the inside as well. Pets who are kept at an ideal weight and are lean and fit and healthy tend to struggle with less problems as they age and get older. Pets who are overweight are more prone for things like diabetes, joint disease, heart disease, and they tend to live a shorter lifespan. We know you want the best for your pet, but overfeeding them is not it. We'd love to help you and your floof get on the right track, so why don't you pop us an email if you feel like your pet is a candidate for a weight loss plan.